Picture this with me. One day, as the gates of heaven swing wide open before you, your heart pounds with awe and joy. You step inside, light floods everything, and off in the distance, you see a familiar face. Maybe it's the mother who prayed for you every single night, or a friend who left this world too soon, leaving a hole in your soul that never quite healed. Have you ever wondered, will I recognize them? Will they recognize me? Or will heaven be filled only with strangers? I've sat beside many people in their final moments, and I can tell you this: that question is not yours alone. One of my elderly patients, Mary, once held my hand so tightly, her eyes brimming with tears, and whispered, "Pastor, when I die, will I see my husband again? I miss him so much that every day feels like a part of my heart is missing." That question is simple yet profound. It touches the deepest longing of the human soul: to be reunited, to be known, and to be loved without ever being separated again. Have you ever felt that way? Missing someone so deeply that you long to see them again, even if only in a dream? And when you think about heaven, does your heart whisper the same question? Will we really recognize each other there? The Bible doesn't leave us into the dark on this. The Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Thessalonians, "We do not want you to grieve like those who have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, so we believe that God will bring with Jesus those who have fallen asleep in him." Do you see? This promise is not vague. It is anchored in the very resurrection of Jesus Christ. If he rose again, then we who belong to him will also rise, and we will be reunited together. Think back to the story of the Mount of Transfiguration. When Jesus took Peter, James, and John up the mountain, Moses and Elijah appeared with him. Moses had been gone for centuries. Elijah had long since been taken up. Yet the disciples recognized them instantly. No introductions, no name tags, just pure recognition in glory. If here on earth, in just a glimpse of glory, human beings could recognize them, then how much more in heaven, where everything is made perfect, will we recognize our loved ones? When we think of heaven, it's easy to imagine it as some distant place, like a hazy meadow, a painted scene where people sit on clouds and sing. But the Bible describes something far more concrete and profound. Heaven is not forgetfulness, but completeness. It isn't a place where memories are erased, but where they are healed and bathed in the glory of God. Think about a family reunion. Maybe it's Thanksgiving, maybe Christmas, when everyone gathers around the table. Even after years apart, though hair has grayed and eyes have dimmed, we recognize each other instantly. Sometimes it's just a glance, a smile, or a voice calling out from the kitchen, and our hearts say, "That's my family." Now imagine heaven, where everything is renewed. How much deeper, how much stronger will that recognition be? One patient once told me through tears, "Pastor, I'm afraid that when I get to heaven, I won't remember my daughter. Every memory I have is tied to her. If I lose that, I won't be me anymore." I sat beside her and answered, "My dear, God doesn't erase who we are. He makes us whole. The painful memories will be healed, and the memories of love will become endless joy. You won't just recognize your daughter, you will know her more deeply, in a connection we could never experience fully here on earth." Revelation 21 promises us he will wipe every tear from their eyes. That means every pain, every wound, every loss, gone. But that doesn't mean forgetting. It's like when a wound on your body heals. The scar remains, but it no longer hurts. Instead of being a source of suffering, it becomes proof that you overcame, that life has triumphed. Another story made me think deeply. An old man in my church carried anger toward his father until the day he died. His father had abandoned the family, leaving scars that lasted a lifetime. That old man often wondered, if one day I meet my father in heaven, will I turn away? Will I even want to call him father? But after many years of prayer, he realized, if God has forgiven all my sins, then why should I hold on to this bitterness? In the light of heaven, the broken relationships of this life will be healed. We will look at each other not through the eyes of resentment, but with the eyes of perfect love in Christ. You see, heaven isn't just a family reunion, it's a great communion. Jesus said in Matthew 8, "Many will come from the east and the west, and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven." Imagine sitting down for a meal with the very people you've read about your whole life. Abraham, David, Ruth, maybe even Paul. No longer distant names in a book, but real people you know, and who know you. And here's the most amazing part. You won't just know them. You'll know them deeply. You'll know their stories, their journeys of faith, the way God wove His glory into their lives. And they will know your story too. I once told a group of seniors in a Bible class, one day someone might come up to you and say, "You don't know me, but I prayed for you. I lifted your name to God, even though we never met on earth." Just the thought of that makes the heart overflow with joy. But let me be honest with you, heaven is not automatic for everyone. In Matthew 7, Jesus said to the hypocrites, "I never knew you. Depart from me." This is a serious warning. It means that to be part of that eternal fellowship, we must truly belong to Christ. Otherwise, recognition becomes a haunting separation, like in the story of the rich man and Lazarus. He saw Abraham, he saw Lazarus, but he could not cross over to join them. Recognition was there, but so was the divide, and that pain was far greater. This isn't meant to create fear, but to remind us of the urgency of faith. If something is holding you back, if there's a relationship on this earth you haven't reconciled, think of that eternal reunion. Don't let the fleeting moments of this life cost you the chance to enter heaven. And here's something many don't realize. Heaven isn't just a place to look back on the past. It isn't a museum of memories. It's the beginning of a new life, a life of unending worship and service. Revelation gives us a picture, multitudes from every nation and tongue singing a new song to the Lamb. That means the greatest joy won't simply be seeing our loved ones again, but standing with them before God, worshiping Him, praising Him. That's a fullness no earthly reunion could ever compare to. Let me take you back to that opening image. You step through the gates of heaven, your heart overflowing with joy. Familiar faces appear, no longer marked by sickness, sorrow, or separation. The mother who prayed for you, the friend who left too soon, even ancestors you never met, all smiling, calling your name. And then, in that moment, you lift your eyes and see Him, Jesus Christ, the one who died for you, the one who made this reunion possible. In that instant, every longing, every question, every ache of the heart finds its answer. I know that for many of you, especially those in your 50s, 60s, even 70s, The question, will we really see each other again, is no longer abstract. Because in the journey of life, who among us hasn't had to say goodbye to someone dearly loved? An elderly man in my church once confided after his wife's funeral, "I know God promised we'll see each other again, but sometimes I worry. Will I still remember her? Will she remember me?" I put my hand on his shoulder and said, "My friend, human memory may fade, but recognition in glory never will. If here on earth we can recognize each other with just a glance, how much more in heaven, where everything is renewed, will we know one another completely without ever losing it?" The beauty of heaven is this: it doesn't just promise reunion, it promises transformation. You won't only see your loved ones again, you'll see them in their most complete selves, free from the weight of age, the shadow of pain, the sting of distance. And you'll see yourself renewed too, a glorious creation reflecting the love and righteousness of Christ. But I want you to reflect on this: that reunion is not automatic for everyone. Jesus said, "Not everyone will enter the kingdom of heaven." That's a sobering truth, and it places a choice before us. For if recognition in heaven is real, then separation is real too. Once an elderly woman in my Bible class asked me, "Pastor, what must I do to be sure I'll be there?" I answered simply, "You don't need to do something grand. You just need to belong to Christ. Trust Him, follow Him, let His love and forgiveness rule your life." It's not about being perfect, it's about surrendering your heart. You see, heaven is not a prize for the strong or the flawless. It is grace given to those who belong to Jesus. And that is what makes all the difference. Imagine this moment. You're seated among millions of believers from every nation and every age, all singing a new song to the Lamb. Your voice is no longer off-key, your loved one's voice no longer trembling, every sound blending into an eternal symphony. So today, if your heart still carries the ache of separation, let this promise be your comfort. If you still worry about recognition, remember that in glory it will be more complete than ever. And if you're not sure you'll have a place in that reunion, today is the time to open your heart and give your life to the one who promised it. Let me close with this picture. On the last day, when every earthly door has shut, one door will open. Light will pour through, songs will echo, and the faces you love will appear. You walk forward, their arms open wide, and you hear the very voice of Jesus say, "Come, my good and faithful servant." You will know them. They will know you, and together we will all know Him, the one who made it all possible.